Man, who do you think you're playing with? You think you're playing with Sundowns? We are not Sundowns. We are not Sundowns. Hey, Tina, siwina ngotrenili. No ban against two. We are Kaizer Chiefs. We are Kaizer Chiefs. This is a Soweto derby. We've been telling people it's a derby. You can't guarantee Uguti you'll have a win just because Chiefs have been poor. We whoop you. We whoop you. And don't come into the comment section and say, hey, Tina Sigma final. We don't care. We beat you. You are in finals. But Tina Sikshaile when Auskipanga Uguti Sigma final. Sikishwe Amazulu. So that has nothing to do with you. 1-on-1, we whooped you. Hello and welcome to Khosi Nation Fan TV. I am Bilo. I am your host. This is where fans meet and talk about Khosi, Kaizer Chiefs FC. Let's go, guys. So I want to talk about these 9 things. The first one being the starting lineup. I think Uzwane made a good decision by starting with Solomons over Frosla. As I said to Guti, pace Solomons was going to help us a lot. And kukhona vele abalandeli beChiefs abangangamthanda ukuthi uvela gijima kwesinye isikhathi, but you need him. Did you see how quickly he recovers when we lose the ball up front? He just so it was a good decision for him, and I think it was bold for Uzwane to include Umsheni, because what that meant was Maart no Blom were like a double pivot la pesweni bebengama 6-2, and then Blom uNgcobo edlala as a 10 phambi kwabo. And that was bold. That was bold going to a game like this, having performed in the way that we've been performing, and you just bring in a player who's attacking minded, because someone else, I personally thought he was going to bring in maybe a Cole, someone who's more defensive to help like counteract the threat here Pirate. But nope, he said, you know what? The best way to defend is to attack. So instead of adding someone ozoba stop hangs or add someone ozoba nikeza inkinga, and he did. So khuluma ngomshini later on. Another thing is dropping Usekhota. Maybe some people were angry with this, but I was like, that makes sense, because you look at Kaizer Chiefs' bench, you're like, ay, akunamuntu ozongena ashintshe game. But Usekhota benchini, you know ukuthi ngalesikhathi amfake ngaso, or maybe like 8 minutes earlier on the 60th minute amfake, you know it defensive Pirate izobsikhathele, and you ufake elinye ihash because utema ingena futhi ubonile ukuthi the Pirates defense was struggling to play against him. So those were good decisions and brave decisions too. Akubanga nakho ukuthi no ngizofolda and sit back and see what happens. Second thing is the thing that I talked about yesterday, ukuthi Ashley was going to shine today, and was supposed to, because on the 33rd minute he got a chance. Oh my God, he missed. I don't know when our players are going to learn how to dink the ball over the keeper. So he misses the chance, and we forgive him now because we ended up winning the game. But in another day, it could have been a completely different story. He misses the chance. Literally 2 minutes later, he gets a chance in a similar position, and he ends up missing. And this is what I don't want you to miss, Masenkulma Ngopiliat. What Upiliat did so well today was whenever he dropped to collect the ball, he dropped, and then a defender Abeba disorganized, and when that happened, people will to one of the midfielders or to a left back or to a center back, and then that center back or whoever he played the ball to would then play the pass behind the defense a Pirate, and then Utupri will run into those balls. And that's what I thought Veluzwan was going to use. And Utupri used to shine with Stellenbosch, because against teams, our teams are just press high against the Stellenbosch, and then they leave spaces behind themselves, and then Utupri would exploit those spaces. Today he wasn't able to do that, but it doesn't matter at this point because we won the game. Next thing, number 3 is Blom. Blom. Ay bafethu. Ay, shame. See, You. I am going to lose my voice. I'm because wow. If for some reason Chiefs ends up not giving him his money, angazi ukuthi bayobe baloyiwe noma yini, because that guy, he is by far our best player this season. I know some people might argue ukuthi uSekhota in, but when it comes to uSekhota uyabanikeza abantu inkinga, something to deal with, and yeah, it happens. Adile nabantu abadriblishe. But when it comes to Blom, what he has come in and done is Sweeney. He just makes sure ukuthi there is nothing that goes through our midfield. And when he wins the ball back, because usually with Ukatsande, when he won the ball, usually ubelwina liphume kube tackling and. But what he does so well, Blom, he wins the ball and then he starts the attack. And because they were playing so close, no Maart, but my win ball aldlale Maart. And then Maart usetola someone who's wide, maybe a dolly, and then utolu se charge down the space. And then sekuyinkinga nje. My win ball ngapha kwa left, malwino uBlom futhi useyakwazi uqala ipass ngale kuhlanti, waqala ipass ngale ku Dupree, or usephasa ibhola ku Billiard. But yonke into, because teams mabezama ukudlala nathi through the middle, mawuke wachecka, there was a graphic that showed ukuthi our attacks were like coming through the middle like 70% at some point, because besiwin bhola lapho and then start everything from there. Mawuthatha ukubheka uBlom what he did ukuthi ohoto baphumile ngenxa yakhe, there is someone else obedlala esiswini kuzoze ngene oMakaring, because ubeba neutralizer ibhola malithili ya wide ukhona uyakhava, malithili yangali ukhona uyakhava, la esiswini ube kuphi uNdlondlo. This is not to say uNdlondlo is a bad player, but it's to say ube kuphi, neutralized completely, courtesy of Njabulo Blom. Blom dealt with them accordingly. And the other player that I think most people won't talk about is Udove. Udove is committed, man. Yabo mangnomdlali, him and Blom, they play like this is the last game of my life and I will do everything that I have. I will just go in and my life depends on it. Mina vele kukhona ukuthi Blom, Dove, and then Sekhota, those are the three players that have been best kule season ngingasakhuluma ngale game. But Blom miyekeni Blom umyekeni. He Umsele was running around so much trying to find space to a point that he pulled something because Blom bepe kwakhe. Ubengadlali uJabulo today, ubengadlali ube serious. And number 4, I want to talk about this. Maart, yes, he scored a terrific goal, but he work rate yakhe namhlanje was just something else. Because I talked about in the previous game ukuthi what I didn't like about him in the previous games ukuthi he just disappeared ungamboni, and in the other game against the cheaper food nakhona he just disappeared wangamboni ukuthi how uphi Yusuf. But namhlanje ngoba ube double pivot futhi bekumforce ukuthi azame ukudropa ayomakisa uSolomon futhi ubengazami. Let me rephrase that. Ubengazami. There was a time la ebengibuka khona ukuthi uSolomon so quick my recover, but at the time Maart was there making sure ukuthi I think it was Marco Saleng who had the ball, and at the time he was there just making sure ukuthi the guy is not going on towards our goal, and then Solomon's eventually recovered. And many other instances where bekuqina thambo nje kwinwe ball, even negol lakhe by the way bekube uqina thambo kwinwe ball washaya goal, but iwork rate yakhe is something that I appreciated today, because I posted last night on Twitter ukuthi all I want is just effort, and I got effort. And if you get effort with the players that we have, yes, we still need more quality, but effort with the quality that we have is good enough to win us some of the games, like against Double Chip, against Double TS Galaxy. You can win a lot of games, you can win and beat a lot of opponents. We beat Pirates just with the quality that we have, plus effort. You can have all the quality in the world. If you don't have effort, then ngekuthole lutho. But today, Maart worked his socks off, and I appreciated that. Number 5, Sekhota comes in for Dupree. Dupree did his thing, he missed his 2 opportunities, but then was still a constant threat. Enter KG. Mayengena futhi wabakhuphi. Akadlala mjida loya, akadlali. And vele, this is what I would like to see. Bench Ashley, qala uSekhota. Bench uSekhota, Alisu Ashley, because to me they are sometimes similar players in a way, because yes, Ashley is more about making runs into dangerous areas and scoring, but he brings the pace, and Usekhota also brings the pace. So I would rather have one of them knowing ukuthi oyedwa wabo ukhona ebenchini and is coming on the second half, so the defense of the opponent actually has to deal with pace in both halves. Our pacey players are just finished in the first half, but there's one on the other side of the half and the one on the other side of the half as well. So it's like usenkingeni the entire time, and it did its job when he came on. I appreciated that because the consistency and all that stuff. Number 6, Yusuf. Anyways, wins the ball back. He sees ukuthi umpontshana akekho epaleni. He strikes it, and then it's a goal. And for umuntu who's been missing so many chances this season, nje poorly, that was so pinpoint and just and I know some people will say this is why we say Peter Sinimela hlale epaleni. But to be honest, you can blame umpontshana all you like, but the truth is all keeper have to stay on their D-line, because if you don't, when the ball is played over, then they won't be able to play sweeper keepers. We have seen all keeper getting teams, even us Chiefs, out of trouble because bebengekho epaleni. So madlala ibhola over defense usiyakwazi ukuphuma kahle le ball. Obviously this is football, so everything comes with a risk, but shout out to Yusuf for ukuthi abone to keep akekho epaleni and then take the shot. I appreciate that. Shout out to you, Yusuf. Number 7, umshini is class. I can just stop there and move on with my life. We know how good uNkosi Ngiphile Ngcobo is, but since Baxter last season said he's not good enough, blah blah blah, for me it hasn't been the same really, if we're being honest. But for him to come in and reward the trust that Uzwane, or repay the trust that Uzwane gave him, it just shows ukuthi he ingqondo yalo mfana lo umatured ngenye indlela, because egamini ungenile wayenza lento bekumele ayenze, but ibhola create ama chances going forward, going forward and carrying the ball as well, and just being calm on the ball. And funny enough, what I do think he needs to improve is maybe put on some muscle a bit, because sometimes we were post off the ball, but at times we win ama battles that you thought he couldn't have won those ones, but it shows ukuthi his strength is corner, equality corner, technical ability corner. So hats off for Umshini as well. He played a very good game for us. Number 8 calls comes in for Ukama, and I said this earlier in the video, I feel like Ukama played much better today, because whenever I made that movement, you drop a deep to collect the ball, bese kuvuleka space wide for either Utoli or Ukama, because I'm a defender bezama ukufaka pressure kuye, because they knew ukuthi we were going to try and play off of him. So he was quick in just playing one touch, and then the moment bamlandela, then sekune space wide. And what that did, it actually gave us some sort of overload eswini, because bekuyi 3 against 3 eswini. So when Kama dropped eswini bese kuba 4 against 3. So makuyi 4 against 3, that forces one of the defenders to track him and follow him my eswini, and then sekuvuleka space, and one of the defenders has to decide ukuthi uvala lembo besho leli defender or maga the person on the ball. That is why uDupree glama chances akho to ubethola space, because bekusuke sekune disorganization emuva, which was good. It worked. I think today Ukama performed better. Is there room for improvement? Obviously there is, but it's just good to see some improvement in a player, because ngeke phela sihlezi special umdlali every day, even if there's something that they did well. Next thing is Riv comes in for Solomons, and then Stebe comes in for Maart, and basically at that point bese couldn't just manage the game, and if we can get something, let's get something. And at that point, the Pirates bengaseke gamini, and I love to watch, because basiqinela bazela ngobuso, hey thina shaya Sundowns, hey thina sinosaleng, yeah. Nathi sinabadlali bethu. This is Soweto Derby. We taught you respect. I hope you learned something. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you on the next video, and until next time, remember, equals alpelu moya shapa Khosi shapa.